You can start.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Bringling. As being September 5th, Teachers' Day, we celebrate.
Aishwarya, could you restart, please? I'm sorry.
It's
You
okay.
can start.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Good
Yes.
morning, good
Can you
afternoon,
hear
good
me?
evening. Happy Bringling. As being September 5th, Teachers' Day,
September 5th, being the Teachers' Day, and two presidents who have been part of the growth of India. We start here with a quote of Mr. Abdul Kalam. 2020 அல்ல அதற்கும் முன்னால் வளர்ந்த இந்தியா என்பது கனவு அல்ல. பல இந்தியர்கள் மனதில் இது ஒரு வெறும் பார்வையும் இருக்க வேண்டியதில்லை. இது நிஜமாக நிஜமாக கொள்ள ஒரு பணி உண்டு. அதற்கு காரணம் வெற்றி. A developed India by 2020 or even earlier is not just a dream. It need not be a mere vision in the minds of many Indians. It is the mission we can all take up and succeed. This evening, remembering the two presidents, we are launching our Tamil version of the book, Sone Ke Chidiya Ko Jagao, Volume 1, with Mission Zero Unemployment and Vision Net Zero, and celebrating the Indian health by SKCKJ, Preventive Health and Happy Living. As he quoted, வாய்ப்பு வாய்ப்புகளுக்காக காத்திருக்க வேண்டாம், உனக்கு வாய்ப்பை நீயே ஏற்படுத்திக் கொள். Don't wait for the opportunity. Make your own opportunity. With that, we are here to create our own opportunities and our own living. So let me introduce our leader who has been giving everybody an opportunity and making everybody work for their dreams. Let me introduce our visionary leader, because of whom we are all gathered here and working towards the initiative Hero for Zero, to help each and every citizen to identify their core competence and transform them into a leader so that they can inspire others, help them achieve, and motivate them to pass the baton on the other, transforming themselves, eventually transforming their lives of their families, their state, their country, and eventually the world. And we are one earth, one family, and we should have one future, that is the future of golden. Anshav Jain is a proud Indian who has left multiple lucrative opportunity to settle outside India, and also known as Anshavatar. He is having 21 years of corporate experience, an angel investor, startup mentor, business consultant, serious entrepreneur, and now a venture capitalist, founder and MD of Bringle Excellence and in UK and India. Anshav has worked for 21 years in a global MNC, giving them hundreds of millions of dollars with respect to revenue realizing and cost optimization. Anshav has transformed loss-making business into self-sustained $100 million USD global startup, aspiring to the world's first zero employee, zero office unicorn by 2025 and $1 trillion company by 2030. Now, I would like to invite my colleague Anshav Jain to explain about the global movement, the people involved, and to do with the Tamil India curtain raiser of the annual Our Success Festival. Anshav, to you.
Thank you so much, Aishwarya, for such a warm welcome and good, detailed introduction. Actually, thank you so much, and it really means a lot, to see that how the entire focus is kind of coming up on transforming India into a self-sustainable, financially independent, and environmentally friendly economy, leading to zero unemployment and net zero. And it is not just at Pringle and Vardhan for you what we are focusing upon right now. And I think there are a lot of institutions are working. I was part of Indian Startups Festival team as well, and we have seen the miraculous work and the kind of great work they're doing, not only just in India, but now we are supporting those kind of forums, even in US, UK, Europe, and various other countries, so that we can bring together all the Indians out there to bring the focus back to India. Not only just that, we have just started focusing or, transforming, basically passing it on the SKCKJ baton to other countries as well. And we'll talk about more on that. And we have, our eminent guest and partners coming in from, joining in from Bangladesh as well today. And one of the speaker from Bangladesh, and how we are going to work towards that economy. Apart from the other four nations, we have given, passed on the SKCKJ baton, which is Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan, and Sri Lanka. And we'll talk about a little bit on that more. But before I do that, let me just share my screen and talk about what is this initiative all about, why we are working on to this. Now, let me just start with one particular option and one particular question to all of you. How many of you actually know that India was called as a golden bird or a sone ki chidiya? So thanks for sharing. You can share your, hands on the Zoom as well. Thank you so much for sharing and being truthful out there. But how many of you do not know that India was called as a sone ki chidiya? I'm sure many of them. In fact, when I ask this question with people feel little of, uncomfortable sharing that they don't know about that India was called as a sone ki chidiya. But actually that became the reason for India, somebody coming in from outside India and coming into India and taking over India in 1192, when they killed the last Hindu Samrat of Prithviraj Chauhan. Now, point is that how can somebody come up and take up the wealth and the people or the leadership of a country which could not be acquired for the last so many years, thousands of years ago. And that is the whole focus, is what we are trying to bring in over there. But with our focus of taking this initiative, this deployment of this initiative into India, we are now taking it to across the globe with one world, one family, one future initiative. And this is what, we will just want to take it up. India, Bharatvarsh had so much of wealth and prosperity for more than 5,000 years that everybody wanted to rule it. Sone ki chidiya ko jagao or awakening the golden bird is an idea of a book, came up in English, that took strong roots when we took the Financial Freedom Pledge on 15th August 2021. On our 75th Independence Day, and was shaped up and launched on 26 January 2022, which was our Republic Day. This book, Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao, is split into two volumes. Volume 1 on Mission Zero Unemployment, which is already on Amazon and available on our website, sonekichidiya.org as well. And volume 2 on Mission Net Zero, and is based on all the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals for the holistic transformation of any individual, organization, or a country. We at Bringle UK and India and Vardhan for You are committed to transform India into a self-sustainable, environmental friendly, and financially independent economy, leading to zero unemployment and net zero. Volume 1 of the book, we have just given a special discount to all the Indian readers out there on the Teachers' Day out there. So first of all, happy Teachers' Day to all of you. And you can go at sonekichidiya.org in the shop section, and you will find this book, which is at 1,200 rupees on Amazon. You'll find it at 750 rupees, including delivery all across India. You can buy this book and we will be happy to deliver that book to you. Volume 2 is now, we are finalizing the co-authors for the book. We have already got many co-authors, people coming up and sharing their stories and articles, and we will be announcing the, the synopsis of the book very, very soon on the DAC. On the DAC. We are glad to share with you that 100% of the profits of both volumes of the book Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao, Awake magazine, Golden Awakening the Golden Bird, merchandise, and even the August Success Festival goes towards providing education, employment, and entrepreneurship opportunities, as well as health and accessibility to underprivileged youth and children of our country through our initiative Lucky Bag, which is a nationwide initiative towards enhancing employability skills and developing entrepreneurial mindset among 1 lakh youth and children in every city of all districts in every state of India. And 1 lakh is equal to 100,000 plus 100,000 youth and children, just for the people who don't understand the Hindi, English, the Indian version of numeracy. Now, from this perspective, believe me, we are proud of being Indians and we love India. That's why we at Bringle UK and India and Vardhan for You are transforming India into a super powerful economy. Once again, a golden bird or a Sone Ki Chidiya. And that's the whole concept about Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao or awakening the golden bird. We are working towards since 2020 and have an Amrit Kal vision 2047, completing a century of independent India with a mission zero. This entire vision 2047 is having 3 milestones: vision 2025, vision 2030, and vision 2047, eventually having a 50-year long roadmap till 2070. We are going to discuss more about these 3 visions at the end of the webinar. Please be there with us till the end of this session so that you can understand what is this vision all about and how it can help your country, your organization, or yourself in a much better way to transform yourself into a financially free economy or individual or an organization out there. Now, from here, I would just want to kind of quickly browse through about these are the 12 languages, 12 top spoken languages in India, and in which we will be translating the combination of the volume 1 and volume 2, and will be publishing it on Amazon and other book platforms. And it will also be available on our website, sonekichidiya.org. You can actually pre-book all these books right now at a very, very discounted rate, almost at 40% of the cost at the, which is going to be versus from when it will be published out there. So this is a pre-booking thing, and we will be releasing these books in the next 6 months to 9 months time after the volume 2 is published out there on Amazon. So just be clear that you are going to get this book over a period of time, but surely you are going to get these books completely at your doorstep once you pre-book these books, especially in India. For outside the India, we will do the SKCKJ baton pass it on ceremony, and then we will hand over your books in that country. You will be partnering, you will be coming and attending those sessions as well. Now, this is where the South India curtain raiser event, we did it on 24 June 2023 in Bangalore with Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, and Bangladesh. And now we are getting invited by these countries to deploy this entire Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao model in their countries as well, with respect to skills development, startup, ecosystem, health management ecosystem, as well as social impact. Now, that's where we come to today's launch of Tamil Nadu Preneur League. These 2 days, this day is basically recognized, is very focused towards Tamil Nadu at this point in time. One of the reason is that Chennai, which is in Tamil Nadu, is the capital of Tamil Nadu, is also called as health capital of the country of India. And on this day, Shri Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan was having we are celebrating his birth anniversary, and that is why it is celebrated as Teachers' Day in India. He always said that don't celebrate my birthday as a very separately. Please celebrate my birthday as a Teacher's Day, because he was a teacher and he was very well famous teacher who was there. So another person and another Tamilian, we would like to, really acknowledge out here is APJ Abdul Kalam, who has actually institutionalized ISRO, and because of his vision, we are now on moon. We are the first country in the world who has reached to the south pole of the moon, and the 4th country to be on the moon. And this is what the vision started from his own thought process when he launched his first, missile, and that is why he's called as a missile man. Remembering the 2 presidents of our country from Tamil Nadu on the Tamil Nadu Preneur League launch plus Tamil version of the book Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao, Volume 1, which will be combination of Volume 1 of Mission Zero Unemployment and Mission Net Zero. The whole aspect out here is that we are focusing on adding life to your ears and developing an AI and blockchain based holistic health, preventive health management ecosystem. These are the two great people we have spoken about, and we really thank them for their contribution towards country, and we really want to remember them and wish a very happy Teachers Day to all of you. Now, today our speakers are going to come from a various different industries, various different locations out there. And it is going to be a great pleasure for us to invite these people and knowing about their, listening to their pearls of wisdom as part of 3 minutes Bringle Talks about various aspects, how we could work towards developing a preventive, healthy and happy lifestyle or living for each and everybody in the world. This whole initiative of Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao is divided into four ecosystems out there with four leaders within that. And this all four ecosystems have been aggregated from the 17 SDGs of the ecosystem. The volume 1 of the book, Mission Zero Unemployment, focus more on the first two parts of that, which is startup ecosystem and skill development ecosystem. The volume 2 is being focused on the second two ecosystems, which is social impact, environment, governance, and even health. And that is why it becomes health and accessibility part of it, which is the major focus in the volume 2 part of the book. So these two volumes covers all the 17 SDGs of the United Nations, which is helpful to transform any individual, organization, or any country. And that is what the entire model is being depicted out there. Now, let me just introduce our next important leader, Dr. Vinaya, Rotarian Dr. Vinaya, who is actually working towards empowering the next generation through skill development, which is the key to the limitless possibilities. But before I introduce her, let me just share with you a small story. Okay. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Evangeline. She was 19 years old and full of life, dreams, and aspirations. She had a strong sense of self rooted in the values and belief of her parents. Little did Evangeline know what life had in store for her. At 19, Evangeline found herself in an incredibly difficult and abusive situation. Everything around her seemed to be fall apart. She was in a state of affliction and taken advantage of by the people she thought she could trust. She felt trapped and helpless, but found it hard to escape from her situation. Despite the darkness that surrounded her, Evangeline chose to remain strong. She was determined to make a difference in the world and use her struggles to make a positive impact. Despite the pain and hardship, Evangeline kept her head held high and worked hard to achieve her dream. Evangeline made her dream a reality to bring soulful smiles to 1 million people, and her story inspired countless others. Let me now introduce you to Rotarian Dr. Vinaya to make the difference in the world by awakening the golden bird inside ourselves and spreading soulful smiles. As she says that our smiles can reach far beyond our own bubble, creating a domino effect of joy and connection across the world. Let's take the time to awaken our inner golden bird and spread its light and love to the world. Let's give a big round of applause to this Evangeline who has taken up this next global mission to bring 1 billion soulful smile. And she always says that together we can make a difference. Vinaya, if you are there, I would like to have 1 minute of your quick thoughts and introduction about yourself and your work. And then we will anyways listen to your thoughts about happiness index and soulful smiles later.
Thank you, Anshav, and thank you, Team Bringle. Especially, firstly, before I start, I would like to wish all the educators out there a very happy Teachers' Day today. I am sure that today is a day which is very important for a teacher, and I would say it's not only for a teacher, but every mother, every father who's the first teacher to their child, and every person who some or the other way have made some impact on each other's life. So I believe we all learn from each other. So wishing each and everybody a happy Teachers' Day and smiling and soulful life ahead. As Anshav said, and as being a part of Bringle as well, we are into a mission of bringing the soulful smile to every person, every individual. And skill banks and education sector, yes, it's been 26 long years that I've been working in this education sector, and this journey continues, and wish to have many more in the same. We are working towards empowering the children with the right skill sets, so that at the right time and they understand that where do they stand and how do they actually take themselves ahead. So would not take much of time. Get in touch with us for your soulful smile. Stay tuned for the rest of the updates. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vinaya, and it was such a wonderful, quick thought process about yours. We'll definitely would love to hear your 3 minutes Pringle talks very, very soon. Before that, I think I move it off, hand it over back to Aishwarya, which is the most important person for this entire initiative, who is actually focusing on that. I would actually want to introduce my next co-founder, which is Sharmila Devatia. But let me introduce this ever smiling lady called Sharmila Devatia, who is also a Rotary president in Vadodara, and now working towards the Lucky Bag initiative, and even taking up the West India, the complete initiative towards with that, and now working towards bringing 100 plus schools, adopting them and transforming youth and children of our country. Now, let me, introduce about that. She got cerebral palsy at the age of just 6 years, followed by 10 days coma and then paralysis, leaving her with the loss of sight and immovable body. And how she has taken that journey in the last 50 plus years, and what drives her today, even after what she has gone through in many years. And sincerely believe in one thing for everyone: disability is just an inconvenience. And let us join hands together and welcome this strong-hearted young lady of 58 years, who is going to share her journey of 5 plus decades, as she says, my life, my way. Unfortunately, in fact, I would not say unfortunately. In fact, she's actually working right now. She's not been well for the last 1 month now. She's having a long, good, asthma attacks and many other challenges with respect to her breathing. But she's actually, since the whole day, she had been into a Rotary meeting, working for 100 plus schools, adoption part of it, and she's busy in that. So we really wish all the best to her. And she could not join with us in this session, but a lot of her content and a lot of her work is available at vardhan4u.com. So you can check it over there. Now, moving to our next very eminent guest or eminent person who is actually making this entire initiative of today's, making it a reality. So let me introduce this dyslexic mother of a premature boy, leading to disabilities, which is now on a mission to prevent any health issue for each of you, so that you don't have to say goodbye too soon to the people you love. She is on a mission to prevent any health issues for each of you, which could lead to diseases, disability, age-related challenges, or even death. So let us join hands and welcome Aishwarya Magesh on the stage to talk about the reasons why she is working to develop an AI and blockchain-based holistic health management ecosystem. Welcome, Aishwarya, and thank you so much for your work. Would love to know more about your thoughts and what you're working, and handing it over the SKCKJ baton to you.
Thank you, Anshav. Thank you for all the support and introduction you have given me. Anshav has been part of my programs, my dreams. I would say he is behind me for me being here. I will never forget it. As a mother, I have been a housewife and not being part of the startup or financial ecosystem anytime in my life. For the past 3 years, almost 3 years, I have been working on empowering myself. I educated myself as a skill development person. I went with the government skill development and soft skills training to government schools. I came out of my shell, and after that, I wanted to start something for disability and uh, health empowerment of mothers who is having children with special needs. As we see, India has empowered health in so many ways. But if you take disability or special needs, there are always doubts and there are always issues. So, starting from there, when we kept uh, researching and understanding the health ecosystem, there are so many issues when we see each and every cases, and that has been with us for quite some time. For that reason, we wanted to create an app which is AI and blockchain based, supporting individual security of their health records as well as giving them the preventive health measures which can enhance their lifestyle. I would like to talk about this more after we have eminent speakers from the industry. We start with our first speaker, Uday sir. Uday sir, I hope you're there. Uday sir has been having over 30 years of experience in sales, marketing, project management strategies. He has been working with the health sector for more than 2 decades. He has been part of Bratra Health Positive, Apollo Life Health and Life Institute, and now currently he is working with Apollo Bangalore and heading the division and helping them to acquire more strategic sales. I would like to call him and introduce, be part of his few words. Thank you for joining us, sir. It is a great pleasure having you here.
Thank you very much, Ms. Aishwarya, to get me on this show here, and also my dear friend, Mr. Anshav Jain. We've had some good interactions with him, and I think this is something very close to us, being a part of the healthcare. So I said, yes, I should be a part of this, and I should be speaking a little bit that I would know. And then as we move forward, I think we can work around it. So being a part of the healthcare, I think we always look at this challenge as saying that how people could be healthy. And the challenge that today the non-communicable disease pose on the country like India is very, very, very high. So, just to give you a little insight into it, the banking industry has more than 65% of its employees who are with at least one NCD, non-communicable disease. The manufacturing and automobile industry has about 59% of their employees with at least one NCD. The industrial and energy industry that we really look at is about 57% of their employees with one NCD. The healthcare, all those guys who are working in the healthcare sector, 49% of them have at least one NCD. And IT and ITES that we really look at, where we have mostly or generally the very younger crowd that has minimum of 36% of their employees with one NCD. So the numbers are growing with every day. We see, there was a survey where it was done about 18% of the people have diabetes, 28% of the people have hypertension, and about 32% of about 30% of them have other diseases, plus about 11% of them have obesity. So this is a very good platform that we can really look at as to how we can prevent, the NCDs by taking care of our health very well, and in some areas help the larger population as such. We're talking about, the larger population being healthy, especially the younger population being very, very healthy. So as we move forward, I think we will discuss more on this, and there would be a lot of areas where we would like to collaborate and, look at how we could help people come over or, stay healthy and come over these NCDs that they've already contracted. Thank you very much for getting me here on board, and would be happy to contribute whatever that I could. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Anshav, I think his system has frozen. Thank you so much, sir. And your statistics is so true. I have been tracking that for last 2 years, and I found I've had personal experience. One of my cousin's husband, who had this, he was just 48, and he had a heart attack, and they did angio, they did every preventive measure, but that didn't suit him. So because of that, he expired at the age of 48. He has two daughters. One just landed in IIT Hyderabad last year, and it was such a devastating. And I know how the family is going through so much changes. The mother has to go back to job. She has not been working for last 10 years because she had to take care of her. The younger one is just studying in 10th standard, and because of that the family is so devastated. They've lost the main person, and it is a pain point. This is not one case. There are other two cases which are very close to my house, and this has been happening, and I've been telling them there are lifestyle changes we have to do, which have to work on. Everybody do yoga, everybody do meditation, but are they doing it right? Nobody knows that. That is where we are stuck right now. So everybody is trying to do some kind of health problems, but nobody knows where they are doing it and how they are doing it. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Definitely, I'll take all these inputs. I like to introduce our next speaker. Veena ma'am. Veena ma'am has joined us from Bangladesh. She has been in the industry for last almost 20, 30 years. She has actually just left her active job from, uh, if I am not wrong, the Marines 2 in Bangladesh. Is that right, ma'am? You're on mute. Can you unmute yourself, ma'am? Yes. Yes, we. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I can hear you also. Thank you for joining us from Bangladesh for I think it is little late for you right now, if I'm not wrong.
Not really, but yeah, it's
Okay.
late evening now.
Okay. She has been doing reproductive health and primary health clinic to her country. She has worked with national health policies and different strategies to bring in private sectors. She has worked to improve overall quality of reproductive and primary health care for all gender sensitive issues. Thank you for joining us. Please share your thoughts for us, ma'am.
Okay. I don't have a presentation. I'll be talking audio.
No problem. Your
Okay.
words of wisdom is what we need.
Thank you. Thank you. So good evening to everyone. And it is a real pleasure to be part of this discussion today. I'll be talking on the preventive medicine and how we can take forward our lifestyles to have a healthful aging. So I'll be talking from Bangladesh perspective as I am from Bangladesh. I'll be picking up examples from Bangladesh. So to start with, I'll say that Bangladesh is going through socio-economic and demographic transitions, and the rapid urbanization, globalization, commercialization, and digitalization, all these are contributing to a visible and rapid changes in our lifestyles and the physical activities that we are going through, and the behavior and practices that we are now going through. So we can see that all these things are giving rise to these NCDs that we are now talking about, like chronic diseases like asthma, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, heartburn, lung cancer, and other cancers like cervical cancer, breast cancer, etc. So these are becoming, this is becoming an alarming for us to ensure that how can we prevent this. So it is not very difficult. We know that our lifestyle, our healthy practices, or our eating habit is creating all these diseases. So it is definitely avoidable, definitely preventable, and definitely we can delay the progression of these diseases if anyone has them. So I'm not going to raise some issues of our daily lifestyles, which are very common to us. We know it very well. So we raise this issue and how these issues or how these factors causes what kind of diseases and how we can prevent these diseases. So smoking, first of all, is a smoking. It's so largely now consumed in the community. In Bangladesh, 58% of adult men and 29% of adult females smoke. So we know that smoking causes lung cancer. It is obvious, and it is all in the media. Everybody knows, but still we cannot give up the smoking. Still we are in its habit. So how can we prevent from smoking? I'll come to that later. Now, another thing is alcohol consumption. Alcohol consumption is also another major issue, but in our country, it is backed by social and cultural values. So, and so it is not openly available in the market. So the alcohol consumption is only 5.6%. But it is nothing to be happy about because there are under the table selling going on. And there are alcohols that are prepared locally, which are rich, also very rich to the community. So what are the diseases that we expect from alcohol consumption? It causes liver diseases, it causes liver cancer. So this is also can be preventable. This also can be prevented by changing our habits. Next is the substance abuse or drug abuse. It is a disease that can also be prevented. 2.5 million people are addicted to drug, which causes HIV, AIDS, and hepatitis. These drug addicts, they don't only suffer from these diseases, they also carry the disease and spread the diseases. So it is also very alarming to ensure to stop drug abuse. There is air pollution going on. Air pollution is impacted from vehicles emitting carbon, from factories, from brick kilns, and they cause cancers, asthma, lung cancer. So that's also a very serious issue. The next is the food habit. I should say the fast food craze among the youngsters mostly. It causes obesity, but in the long run, the obesity also causes the same NCDs that asthma, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and also like heart diseases, lung diseases. So it's eating habit needs to be changed. This food craze, it comes from the rising fast food chains, fast food shops that are spreading across the country. So we need to look into these effects also. Then there is sedentary lifestyle, which is caused by the high use of mobiles, addiction from social medias like Facebook and Instagram, etc. And we learned from the recent COVID pandemic, the virtual offices. And this is now still continuing, virtual offices, because it has gone into our practice. And also there is another thing that is, we now come to order food from outside. This is also becoming very common. When we order food from outside, we do not have to cook, we do not have to do the dishes, we do not have to do other associated chores for this. So it is very easy and it causes life easy. So we are inclined to that. So our physical activity is really hampered, greatly hampered. Our physical activity is also hampered by our footpaths are being occupied by the vendors. So we cannot go for walking, running, and also the roads are not safe for cycling. So what do the people will do? They do indoor activities or indoor works or indoor, they remain indoor, which is also avoiding them to have active life and become productive. The diseases from not having physical activity are again still obesity. I'm calling it a disease. And from obesity, it's giving rise to high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, again heart diseases, arthritis, osteoporosis. We're not exposed to sunlight. We're not exposed to any physical exercise. So it's less physical activity. We are prone to these diseases. The indoor air pollution. 89 people of Bangladesh uses food, crops, scraps, crop residues, and dungs as fuel, and risk their life of these chronic diseases, mostly like asthma and lung cancer. Poor ventilation and crowded urbanization, industrialization, all this causes diseases, again, the same kind of non-communicable diseases like cancer, asthma, diabetes, high cholesterol, etc. So it is an issue, it is a time-bound issue now that we have to look into this as a priority in our preventive medicine. So we know the pain of losing a dear ones, but we do also know that it could have been prevented if we have acted earlier. So where do we start? I believe that we should start from the core, from the family. We should learn at an early stage for healthy lifestyle, for healthy eating habits, everything we should learn at an early stage. Giving childbirth is also, we should have in our learnings and knowledge and practices. So from these all learnings should start from giving children healthy behavioral education, inflicting healthy practices in them, providing them with knowledge and basic skills, along with other immunizations and other health issues. So our government is taking many initiatives. It included preventive medicine in its 7th five-year plan. It includes healthy and safe community environment. It includes clinical and community health services. It includes empowering the people, equipping the people with messages and capabilities, And also, it included that no one should be left behind in its strategy to target the strategic development goal, sustainable development goal. So I can understand, and we all can understand, that government alone cannot be held responsible for this. The non-governmental organizations, the private practitioners, the academicians, the religious and community leaders, or the community itself and the family, as I mentioned earlier, should take responsibility and be responsible for having a healthy aging process, for initiating healthy aging processes. So this is what I had to say. So we should be very careful in educating our children. We take responsibilities of our children. So they are the major population of our countries, and they are the future of our population. So they should be educated. They should know what is good practices and what are bad practices, and they should then move forward with their healthy lifestyles and healthy eating habits. So I should stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining us for this event. Yes, we have to give them understanding of healthy eating and healthy lifestyle, but still sometimes we also lose that. And thank you for your inputs and thank you for joining us for the event. I like to call our next speaker, Rita ma'am. I have been I've been known her for last 2-3 months, and we have interacted in most of the programs. And she has been supporting me and telling me, "Come and meet me. I will give you so much inputs, and let's start working on something." And I think the opportunity has come for us to collaborate and work. She has been part of many initiatives, and she is the first person to introduce quantum health. Am I right, ma'am? Quantum health and quantum energy medical is what her main focus on. I will transfer this mic to her, tell her to speak a few words about it. I think
First
you're
of
in
all,
mute.
yeah, no, I've unmuted. So first of
Yeah.
all, Aishwarya Magesh, thank you so much for introducing me to this platform. And I heard Mr. Jain and also Dr. Rina Yasmin and Mr. Uday Dada so far. And also, yes, Vinaya madam. So what's interesting is everywhere we have been going and we are talking about entrepreneurship and trying to look at the lucrative potential business opportunities. Okay. But here is a group which is thinking beyond that and looking at the condition which is, kind of glaring at our faces, the kind of condition and the health. Interestingly, I come from a surgical instrument manufacturing from my past, I used to have industries for making surgical instrument for cardiovascular to neonatal surgical instrument, to name it all. I used to have super specialized in ophthalmic surgical instrument. So there was a time that when I was going to the hospitals, that I look at the kind of a rush over there. We cannot see them, even in a shopping mall of the best of the high-tech shopping mall, but so much in the hospitals. It really made me to think, if there are so many high-end hospitals, especially in Bangalore, that I come from Bangalore, India, we have got n number of super specialized high-tech hospitals coming up every street corner of our town, and yet there is no solutions being provided except for firefighting. That particular issue, that particular time is being resolved, and then the people go home. But very sad, because most of the money is lost and still no result to the extent they expected or the time spent. So this kept me to think. And then there was a call that I said, if it is this, if you are going to work with a body which has got a natural ability which is innate within each one of us, the intelligent one within us, which has the ability to, repair itself. So we got to be invoking that. So therefore, I brought in a lot of understanding from the quantum physics to understand our body, which is in its fundamental level is a pure energy. And then how do we tweak with that energy with the vibrations and frequencies? That is what we do. We use water, we use light therapies, we use sound therapy, we use information therapy, and we are able to transform a person's condition, where there is no result being found from any other current situation or current facilitators. We are able to bring in solutions to them. And so it is very interesting. The last 7 years I've been doing this as a pioneer. I've been creating a lot of awareness that this method of high technology quantum physics can be brought into the health sector. But otherwise, if you're really looking at, people are only looking at the current situation, what it is, adding on more and more of chemicals, more and more of surgical procedures, which is quietly damaging our economy, ecology. It's also, quietly damaging the natural ability to rejuvenate. That is the reason those surgical procedures or chemotherapy or radiotherapy is done successfully, but the person leaves the planet Earth in a short while. So we can say like successful surgery done, treatment done, but the person exited due to pneumonia or XYZ reason. This woke me up to bring in a vision, which I really am very impressed in this team that we are talking about the vision for the world. How about creating a planet Earth with healthy human? We all have the right to be healthy, and our systems are built, our body is built to live longer and healthier. But because of all of you have spoken about the lifestyle, the environment, atmosphere, ecology, thought processes, toxic, toxins that we accumulate in all levels as making the body deteriorate, then we rush and ask for support. And then they provide you to the best of their knowledge, but then it is not able to rejuvenate, recreate itself, regenerate. So this is the very thought that I bring in. And in this team, I think it's a brain. Just step out of the perspective of you are doing more and more and more, the same perspective, just step out of it, look from a new perspective. Our body is made up of pure energy. And if energy is everything, that in the atomic structure level, we can bring a lot of change. It definitely needs a rethink on the health sector and the solution providers. So our campaign and our the vision is about making more and more quantum technologists, quantum therapists, quantum doctors to be able to provide non-invasive method of therapy. So therefore, we have an institute called Quantum Institute. We want to train and develop people to bring in non-invasive method of therapies with simple, understanding of the body. Of course, it is complex, but then with the quantum science, we can do everything and anything, bring the body to normal. That is the reason I was talking to Aishwarya ji, that we can bring in, be it a cerebral palsy patient or a deformed baby born or a cancer patient or any kind of a patient, or reversing of those diabetic to reversing of thyroid to, anything in the body, by using this perspective of bringing in quantum science to understanding that. So that's what I provide. And my company is called Vacuum. That's the World of Quantum Energy Medicine Research Center Private Limited. And for education and other facilities, we have Quantum Institute. And we have my colleagues across the globe, where they are pioneers in their own subjects. They've got the technologies that I use it on an every basis here, from Russia to Germany to the States, that we are able to do. This is what I can provide. So anybody who's interested in definitely can call me. I'm too happy to support, to bring in awareness for this, and as well do some service to the humanity. And I have a vision, as I said, let's together create healthy planet and a healthy human being with healthy planet. This is what that I'm here for. Okay. Yeah,
Thank you
Aishwarya?
so much. Thank you so much for joining us and understanding. Yes, we are working on preventive health, and the preventive health not only from one allopathy or Ayurveda we are going to use. We are going to work from different angles. Yes, quantum physics also is part of it. Definitely, we can work together and take it forward. Thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us, ma'am. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Thank you.
Yeah. So we have one of our startup who has been part of the program. Vinya ma'am is here. No, she let her join. Before that, I want to share about one of the one minute. Yes, Vinya ma'am is here. Let me introduce her. She has been one of my motivators for the last 6 months. She has been part of my company giving advice. She has been an educationalist and a versatile principal, a happiness coach, a mindful thinker, a change maker, now wanting to be an entrepreneur to develop happiness index. And she's here to talk about her vision of happiness index and how she can make a change in the life. Vinya ma'am, is all yours.
Thank you, Aishwarya. Thanks for that wonderful invite and introduction. And apologies, I was in and out due to some, it's raining heavily and the power connections are very bad. It's just going on and off. So apologies prior to that before I could start up. And yes, I was listening here and there in between about what Rita ma'am was talking about, which really got me into a big interest because I personally also was reading a lot along with my daughter about how the quantum physics, because she more or less researches on quantum physics, and with all our goal together as an able cart and as when we say soulful smiles, or as we say bringing happy smiles everywhere, happiness index is something which is very, very close to my heart. And as I always say, that it is an invaluable tool, very, very valuable tool, which helps us to understand and improve our overall well-being, including our physical health. It also helps to understand how our mental health is. And I think the mental health is plays a major role when it comes to balancing both physical health as well. And how a higher happiness index can lead to a happier and healthier life is what my entire work revolves around when it comes to happiness index and when it comes to health perspective. I was very, very happy to hear Rita ma'am. I'm sure going to connect her very soon because I also have learned that how the holistic perspective, where quantum physics challenges the reductionist view of universe, where it emphasizes everything which is interconnected. Similarly, I do say that the well-being and the happiness are an holistic experiences which encompasses both physical and a mental health. So they are one of the very important aspects of a life. So recognizing these interconnections is very, very essential. And once when we understand this, whether it is in quantum physics and happiness studies, which are very closely related to mind, body, and connection, we as an observer, we can influence and observe the reality, suggesting to some conscious play roles and shaping the physical world as well. Now, whenever we say that we do this in our schools, and I have actually experimented a lot with my students, I will say piloted with my students, where we see that we have a higher stress levels, whether it is students or whether it is youth, we all will agree. And as now all the prominent, I suppose the health saviors have said over here, that physical health, how the diseases like obesity, diabetes, hearts, and all are coming. I feel all of this can be managed to a percentage of extent through happiness, and we can reduce this risk to a large extent. Our immune systems can be stronger when we, it always says that, the research has proved it, that the positive emotions of happiness can boost our immune systems. And then when we are happy, our bodies produce more and more antibodies and immune cells, making us more resilient against the infections and against the diseases. Changing a lifestyle, of course, yes. Happy individuals make more healthier life choices and more inclined to eat a balanced diet. And that's why we say that how the happiness index helps in getting us into our own bodies, releasing endorphins, which acts as a natural painkiller for us. So one of the best way to come out of the, I'll say it as a chakravyuh of these health related issues is, to a large extent, is to make yourself happy. And that's where mental health and happiness index helps out. Also, over a period of time, studies have shown that individuals with higher happiness levels always tend to live longer. A positive outlook on a life may also contribute to a longer lifelines and reduces the risk of chronic diseases and enhancing overall mental health. Now, when I say all of these problems can be arrested by the happiness index, how is that we at our own level can impact the lives with the happiness index? There are several customized solutions after we once understand that happiness index, like as we do it in our system, that is in our education industry. We also have a goal and a vision that AbleCart in future will be going to do all of these, and we are planning, and all these things are in pipeline. As we say that how as an AbleCart, we introduce the happiness index to evaluate the emotional well-being and the contentment of students, which will help understand their needs in a better way. And once we understand their needs in a better way, I think we can have a customized solutions based on these happiness index, which will be designed to a person to person, to child, and a youth to youth, that what is necessary for nurturing an emotional well-being of a student, of a youth, and of a human being, creating an overall positive learning environment or living environment, I will say, which will help us. So as an educationist, I will say that these education transformation can happen when our approach towards education goes beyond academic excellence. So we aim to instill a love for learning, encouraging the students to be lifelong learners and explorers. Now, this is possible by nurturing the happy souls. So bringing these solutions in a different way by a holistic development of the students, we also provide them small resources. These resources are nothing but the support for the mental health, physical well-being, and personal growth. Taking help from all the health sectors, like approaching the hospitals, like how these problems may arise, learning from them in a different aspects. And these combinations of technology, skill development, and happiness and enhancement, we are reshaping the education to produce a well-rounded and fulfilled individuals. And I'm happy to be associated with AbleCart so that these things I can actually do it for my students and actually see the change, how this change at large can help every person or every child over there. So once again, I'm really honored to be here in this particular, I'll say, an event of ours, because I got to understand a lot more about a health perspective, specifically when I say how the different diseases which are very much in hype as on today, and how the very interestingly how quantum effects of the quantum world helps us to have a creative effect, or stress related, or unhappiness, or dissatisfaction, all of this. So thanks, Aishwarya. Of course, yes, we four of us look at each other and of course, take a help of a lot of other learned people around us. So thanks for getting us connected to Rita ma'am, Uday sir over here as well. I'm sure, and Ahmed sir also. Gauri, I'm sure, very much sure that I'm so grateful that all of the event, whenever we speak, whether it is happiness, whether it is health, or whether it is education, you're always there. A true inspiration for me as well, that we have to keep going. Rita ma'am will connect soon, because this quantum effects have really taken out my mind. I cannot take my mind out of quantum, that how nicely it gets. And believe me, just few weeks back, I was just connecting both the threads together, that how this quantum world and the happiness can be merged together, and how we can have this, change in the students, because they badly need that. What we see, what we have seen, and the failures which we have accepted and everything. The youth today I'm seeing are very less, they don't want to accept these setbacks. So I think all these things will help. And thank you everybody for listening to me. Of course, yes, with a lot of hope that I will just summarize all of these things, that with the quantum physics and happiness index, which belong to different realms of science and philosophy, we both together say that we are interconnected physically and the mental aspects of life, thus bringing mind and body connection with a common thread which runs through the quantum physics and health and happiness, highlighting the potential for each and every individual, whether it is to my school, whether it is to everyone's school, all over there, and influence each of us to have a physical well-being along with our physical well-being, along with our mental well-being. And let's spread the soulful smiles together. Thanks a ton, everybody.
So thank you so much, Dr. Vinay and Dr. Rita. I think one of the important aspects which I wanted to share with each of you is that Dr. Vinay is actually starting up her own startup called Soulful Smile. And this is one of the startups which we had been supporting through Design Your Unicorn. And I remember when I met in November to her in one of the dinner meet, she actually just casually told me that I want to start my own startup. But everybody has refuted the idea, saying that it is not investable, or it is not, sustainable business model. And that's the time we were kind of thinking what to do. And believe me, within 3 months of time, she's actually got a $1 million of soft commitment from an investor. And it's not easy. I have not seen such kind of a platform, such kind of a startup or an idea which gets so much of recognition and investors at a stage when there was not even a pitch deck available. She just opened up her thoughts on a board out there with a pen and pen out there, and she got a $1.5 million soft commitment. And since then, that VC has actually been for chasing her, but she is not going and meeting her on that aspect. So because she wants to be very sure that what she wants to do, because she's planning to bring in the technology and different aspects out there. So I think meeting you, Dr. Rita, today is really going to be adding a lot of value out there. And with people like, Reena ji and Ishtaq Bhai from Bangladesh, they are going to support us from a health aspect out there as well. Now, before I move forward, I actually want to invite Dr. Uday Davda as well, and who is head of Apollo Hospitals in Bangalore. So, Uday ji, I would like to know your thoughts a little bit more about, because it's a very interesting conversation. Dr. Vinaya coming in from the education background and focusing on mental health. Rita ji is talking about quantum health and talking about physical health. Aishwarya is focusing on working on various metaverse and other genome research kind of thoughts as well, what she's working. And so I would like to know your thoughts, that what is the kind of futuristic things happening at the hospital level? What could be the challenges you are facing? What are the kind of future you see in the hospital, in the medical fraternity out there? Because you deal with people in and out every day.
Very true. I think this is something very interesting. The technology which is taking us to the next level is really pushing us to the corner, saying that if we don't use technology, I think we will be lost somewhere. So with the help of AI and machine learning, so as a base, Apollo Hospital has got the largest number of case studies that we would have ever thought of. And with the kind of case studies that we have, and when we are able to run a lot of things, on the artificial intelligence. It is giving us data. It is also telling us that what are the steps that we really need to take, which could help us save our population to go into this trap of NCD. This is one area that we're really looking at it. Apart from this, something which is very, very practically seen and noticed and observed and also monitored is something called enhanced connected care. Sorry. What happens in enhanced connected care is practically, as we see, a nurse cannot be by the bedside of a patient all the 24 hours. And while the nurse is not there, anything can happen at any given point of time when we have sick patients who come into the hospital. So enhanced connected care, I think I have something which I should be able to share. Let me just check. Yes, I think I have something which we can share with all of you. This is a solution actually which allows our teams to monitor the vitals in real time. So it is monitored every minute, and we collect this data and transmit it to our control center. And this control center basically gives us alerts in case if a patient is sick, in case of a patient is, his blood pressure is either falling or rising, which is out of the limits that we would really look at. And this enhanced connected care actually gives us the medical conditions, both in case of chronic as well as post-surgery cases. So what are the benefits that we really look out of this technology that we see? It is both for patients as well as healthcare providers, because as I said, every minute or, every small event can prove fatal as far as the patient is concerned. And the care support which is given for the patient, we are able to monitor the patients in real-time basis. So a nurse, we're not saying that the nurse is not going to visit the patient. There are multiple number of interventions that are required by the nurses, which will continue to be there. But at the same time, while the nurse is also doing her paperwork or sitting on the nursing station, she can monitor the care which is given to the patient. She can monitor the vitals of the patient. And in case of adverse reactions, or in case of an adverse event which happens, it will be easier for us to reach out to the patient quickly and give necessary care. And, these are again multiple layers of monitoring. Our systems actually allow you not only to, monitor vitals in real-time basis, but then there's an additional layer of monitoring which is done to the central command center. The central command center is, over a couple of hospitals that we see, or a couple of floors that we see. This is the background work which is done. That's the back office work that is happening. And so the patient can actually receive timely care or timely help when it is required. And how is the data transferred? I think this is through the electronic device that, we attach it either to the bed or to the body of the patient. We capture a lot of data along with those sensors. They are all, either it can be, as I said, it can be under the bed or it can be on the body of the patient. And these devices actually help us in monitoring the blood pressures that we see, the oxygen levels, the heart rate. And as we move, I'm sure we're going to add more things. And this data which we've been collecting from the patients is not only helping this particular patient, but it is also going to help the future, because it is collected, analyzed, and then with the help of artificial intelligence, come out with certain modalities as to a patient which is currently taken up for a PTCA, for example. When we do the to make it angioplasty, post the angioplasty, what are the areas that we need to really focus on? So enhanced care is the future, which is going to be, I'm sure there are additional layers which will come up as we move. This is right at the basic stage at this point of time, and it will help us as we move forward. So this is with regard to the inpatients that we really look at. But on the other side, that we had started our discussion in the beginning talking about the preventive health. I would like to show you some data. I'm sure all of us see data, but then this could be some data which would be even more interesting for all of us, because we are really concerned about the health of the nation. So we're saying, India, let's bounce back to good health. And this is a survey that we did in 2021. And we covered about 3.8 lakhs people. And this is talking about the lab values, the medical history. And then we did the data analysis. And while talking to most of these respondents, and then we also had the AI-enabled prediction model that we used for this. And I'm sure this is going to be some eye-openers for us. Yeah, the prevalence of hypertension in the country is as far as 8.63% in the urban population, and the semi-urban is about close to about 7.58%. And the North and the Eastern India suffers more from hypertension. We always thought, no, it should be the Silicon City and the other parts of the urban areas. But then if you see, North and the Eastern Indian part suffers more from hypertension. And between the age of 36 to 50, men have about 36% higher chances of hypertension than the women. Yeah, mind-boggling, because we also talk about a lot of our, ladies working, a lot of female members being a part of us. In fact, if you ask me, my organization alone has close to about 2/3 as female workers, because a lot of our nursing staff come in from, being the ladies of the family. And as rightly spoken by another guest about asthma, I think this is another area which is a problematic area for a country like India. The quality of air that we really see, the quality of pollution that is happening. The national percentage is 2% of the people suffer from chronic obstructive lung diseases, COLD, and asthma that we really look at it. And interesting, but something which is not very interesting for us to know is that women in the age group of 36 to 50 years have 1.3% more, or 1.3x higher chances of COPD than men. So women are at more risk as far as lung diseases are concerned. Diabetes, again, which is a major killer. South and East India suffer more from diabetes. That's been a proven thing. And, between the age of 36 to 50 years, men have 1.4x higher risk of diabetes than women. Then this could lead to a lot of other areas of concern. A person who's suffering from diabetes, uncontrolled diabetes, will have higher possibilities of having cardiovascular problems. We'll have higher problems of renal diseases. We'll have higher problems of eye, problems with his eyes. So the burden on our country is going to be really, really very high in case if we do not at this point of time wake up. And it's very important call that we really take. Sone ki chidiya ko jagao. Sone ki chidiya jo Bharat hai. If we don't wake up at this point of time, I think it'll be too late for us to repent. And I'm sure a lot of eminent speakers have spoken about it. There are various areas that we can also collaborate and work together, maybe with Dr. Vinaya, maybe Mrs. Rita Mahajan. Oh, some of those fantastic ideas that came in today, and we can all work together. I'm sure Aishwarya is also working on a lot of areas on Able Card. So we could work together, we could help the society to really look at how we can avoid the burden of NCD on this Sone Ki Chidiya. Thank you very much for your patient hearing.
Thank you so much, sir. I think it's such a wonderful insight and the wonderful data. I'm a data person, so being a Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt, for me, everything revolves around data. And the way you have shown it up beautifully, in terms of the hypertension being in North and East India, the diabetes being in, the Southern India. And I'm sure there must be many more data points which must be available. And I'm quite intrigued with your enhanced connected care model, which you just spoke about, because one of the major aspects which we have recently been working out with Able Card, and Aishwarya and even Sharmila, who is our other co-founder, had been working out a model of creating a home care facilities. Because a lot of the people, because most of the challenge I remember during the COVID times, when we were at the hospital, the biggest problem was there was no information available, neither to to the patients. I mean, patients, so anyways, it was not available, but even to the, the relatives of the patient, what is happening, what is the challenge? Doctors were running around, and I think a lot of work has happened over a period of time, but still a lot to be done. Even the Abha number has been initiated by the National Health Mission, but how much, it's still the data set, it is not flowing into to that extent. So one of the aspect is that how can we build this health management data within the ecosystem, within an application, so that it can give up, information to the pharma or the drug companies or the hospitals for taking a quick care. And this data has to be taken up from the homes as well, because there are almost 18 to 20% of senior citizens and person with disabilities are there. If you add up critically ill patients, it will add up much more, maybe 70, 80. But I think Aishwarya would be sharing those data points as well, little bit on that. But I think thank you for the sharing the same. I would really want to connect with you offline and would like to see how we could work together on this. I think we together has to come up, and as you rightly said, Sone ki chidiya has to remain Sone ki chidiya. We have lost our financial status, but if we can make ourselves of healthy and financially free much more, we can bring back the original glory within country. And I think this is the best time for India, because everybody is looking towards India. And if we can support our, Prime Minister's vision, or even our vision to support and take these initiatives outside the country and help our neighboring countries and the entire globe, nothing like that. But I think we at India can be the pioneers out there. Would love to have another discussion. We'll meet you up sometimes, Uday sir, in Bangalore, and we'll also meet you, Rita ma'am. We'll love to explore how we can work together at AbleCart and create this. Just for your information, we are also talking to TIDCO, Tamil Nadu Industrial Development Corporation, who have actually created a entire, health-related park. They call it as Tisel Park. With like Tidal Park, they started for a corporate sector. They've created a Tisel Park where they're focusing on genome research, metaverse, and many other technology, even 3D printing of organs and other aspects. So I think together we can do a lot of aspects. Apollo hospitals are doing wonderful aspects with respect to technology, bringing this hospital administration and the various technologies to work on the, what is a preventive, healthy, and happy living. But let's work together and we'll take it forward from there. Thank you so much, Dr. Rita ma'am and Udayji, and we will come back to you very, very soon on this.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Okay, so Aishwarya, it is up to you now. I think I would also want to share one small video. This is one of the startup I've recently got across. I'm sure there are many people who are into this segment right now, but they are actually working on an AI-based model. And he was also supposed to be here today, but I think he is having some US call because he's kind of raising funds right now, and we are supporting him as well. They're part of Indian Startup Festival group, and which is actually started by Shri J. Chaudhary, who is actually the founder of Software Technology Park of India. So I'll just kind of quickly share my screen and just give a little. Aishwarya, could you please just explain a little bit, give a little introduction about him before I share the video?
Yes, Bharatwaj has been the founder startup of Edison. He has worked and created a model based on AI and radiology intellectual, where the radiology decisions or giving a breakout on reducing the radiologist work by giving faster and accurate diagnosis. He's working on the end-to-end workflow, and he has been introducing and working to get it live. Uh, let's see how he's doing it.
Let me just start share my screen and I'll play. It's a small video pitch which he has been doing it for the investors, but I think it will give us probably a little better idea what he's been working around.
Hello everyone, I'm Bharatwaj.
Aishwarya, is it audible?
Founder and CEO of N-Dimension Technology. We are a healthcare AI startup incubated at IIT Bombay. We are revolutionizing radiology with artificial intelligence. The biggest problem in radiology today is that there is a global shortage of radiologists. that is leading to misdiagnosis. In India, for a 1.3 billion population, we only have 10,000 radiologists. Liberia in West Africa has only 2 radiologists. Even in US and UK, the existing radiologists are overworked. All of this is resulting in 30% of error rates in radiology. At Dimension, we have a team of AI researchers from IIT Madras, IIT Bombay, and radiologists from reputed hospitals. Together, we developed an AI platform that can look at images, identify abnormalities, act as a second opinion to radiologists, and speed up the entire report generation process. Our AI platform is deployed across 300 plus hospitals and diagnostic centers in India and Africa. We partnered with National Institute of Health USA, Tata Memorial Hospital in India, JJ Hospital, Jipmer Hospital, AAG Hospital, Fortis Hospital. We raised 5.6 crore in our seed round from IIT Bombay, Department of Biotechnology, Department of Science and Technology, and IPB. In the current round, we raised about 1.5 crore from Succeed and others. And we are currently looking at an additional 50 lakhs to 1 crore from other investors. Thank you.
Just for your information, we have actually oversubscribed the investment round in just 1 hour call. So we are going to work with him also further on that. Apart from that, we'll be looking at what best we can bring it from the automation perspective of the hospital management. So with that, I think we will move to the next level of taking the entire journey of what is that able card is all about. I think one of the person who's kind of not there, Aishwarya, would you like to introduce him and then we move ahead?
Sandeep is not available right now. He has
Can
been
you please
working
just
on.
talk about him little bit about his
Yes.
experience so that we can then move
Yes.
ahead from there.
So he has been developed an app called Ayush Rhythm, where it automatically understands your nadi. From there, it gives you the 3 levels of Ayurveda treatment. That pitta, vapya, all that deduction is automated. He has been working in this journey for quite some time, and he's also working on data analytics, has been on business intelligence, statistic modeling, holistic health. He is also working on lead management, analytic solutions on healthcare through medical devices with Ayurveda as the background. And he was not able to join because of the rain. His connection got disconnected and he was not able to join us. Surely we'll get from his thoughts and how he has changed his views uh, in the future things. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aishwarya. And I think you can now go ahead with your next launches from here.
Yes. So as we launch our Tamil Nadu Pioneer League and Tamil Center, we are here to celebrate the launch of SKCKJ Preventive, Healthy and Happy Living. We are literally adding life to your years. How do we do that? Why are we doing that? Is what we are going to work it on. We are working on developing an AI-based holistic and preventive health management system. So why are we doing this? We have 2 case studies in our team itself. You have heard about Shamila Devatia, who has cerebral palsy. How she got it? She had a brain fever at the age of 6, which led to coma for more than 10 days. With that, she has been suffering from cerebral palsy. For 17 years, she had to be in therapy. She had to work on her regaining her physical health and movement. Still, she has to do it. She's 58 years old now. But every day she goes to therapy to keep the movements to the level. She has to had she has allergic reactions. She has hypertension because along with disability, which makes it difficult for her to work it out. In spite of all that, because of her disability, she doesn't get a proper health insurance. The health insurance is expensive. It is more than what a normal person pays. So that is the case we are working on. We want to give an affordable health insurance. The second case is a child who was born to an eclampsia's mother who never knew her condition about her preeclampsia, because of which the baby was born on preterm. She didn't have a full cry, which affected his brain getting the proper oxygen, which led to spastic diplegic. It's also a cerebral palsy condition where the child suffers from normal movement of hands and legs. It leads to stiffness, and from the 9 months he has been doing therapy. He is 14 years trying to lead a normal life, but still there are challenges. There are challenges on health, there are challenges on the therapy. After 3 surgeries, he is able to walk with crutches right now. It took a lot of rehabilitation and lot of research. There have been some cases where we have rejected the therapy on that. So, who's it? This is none other than my son who was born to me. So, there have been other cases. So, a Kannada actress who had a plastic surgery, and on the table, because of allergic chemical reaction, she died, which need not have happened if the person treating her knew about her allergic reaction. The same case happened 10 years back where a lady was working for IVF treatment, but because of some allergic reaction, she also died on the table without any prior prior allergies or any prior diseases. She just died fatally. We have another case where we see the Dolo 65 once used to be a heavy dose and it was not prescribed as a normal medicine. But after COVID, it has become a normal medicine and it is prescribed for any common fever, and the sales of it has increased. Why it has to be like that? Because it has proven or we have become immune. Still a question of problem. So, what all other things which support our programs? There are other bigger problems. Can we move on? So, what is that other bigger problems we have? So, here are some statistics that we are can see here. Worldwide, there are 80% of elderly and specially able. There are 71% of critically ill, and there are 74% having lifestyle diseases. These are data from World Health around the world. With this data, we are able to see that every 4% is affected by some kind of health diseases and health problems. If we can prevent it and deduct earlier and use other alternative medicines which are prevailing in our country, we could avoid certain things. We are working on what are the alternative medicines for each disease which can support this this cause and reduce these datas there. So what are the 3-step solution which AbleCart is working on? The first is early deduction. Now we have Google selling us as a doctor, giving us all the medication and all the details. But is that the right diagnosis? If you put one diagnosis, it will give you 10 different things. Is it the right thing? No. It is better to get an expert opinion and take expert information even for small things, which because the small fever can lead to various other effects. Not take medication on your own. Next is we go for treatment to different places. For skin, we go to skin doctor. For headache, we go to either a general physician or a neurologist. For other cases, we have every specialist for every case. A doctor can be a specialist only, even if he has studied ortho, he can be a specialist only for a specific organ. So we need to understand how to track all our health records. After all this, the research and development team is spending so much, but only one out of 10 drugs is approved by the research and development, which takes so much of spending, and it increases the spending but doesn't give the proper result. What are the healthcare development that is available right now in the market? There's metaverse, genome research, and home care. What is metaverse? Metaverse is a virtual reality where you can understand your health through others. Let me give you a small story. So you enter a hospital, and if you can see your whole inner body without even going into a machine or taking an MRI, which is little scarier, then that is a dream come true. So there are possibilities and there are new equipments which are coming for this. Genome research is another big subject which is going on in the market. Yes, there are genome research happening to every individual, which gives the individual's health improvement. It gives you the identity and your body's molecular levels. So it is easier if you we can create an affordable genome research. Today, the genome research costs from somewhere to 5 to 10 lakhs to understand your whole molecular body and to deduct your treatment. The next is home care and SOS. They have come a stage where we have home care services and home care services which can be monitored via a virtual equipment or there are different equipments, but still there are very much opportunities there where you can find equipments which will support live data tracking. It is still under research, and these are all working towards to development of home care where you can set up an ICU or a hospital setup in your home itself to monitor 24 bar 7. There are other programs where we have Fitbits. Every one of us are very crazy about this Fitbits, and everybody of us track this our vitals every day. How much we are walking, how much we are uh, burning our burning, how much we are working. But all these vitals are available in your phone. It is tracked by a third party equipment. But what does the result give you? Does it say, are you doing your right workout? Everybody can't take 10,000 steps. And
Okay, seems Aishwarya is logged out. Aishwarya, are you there? We can't hear you.
hello.
Yeah, Aishwarya, it's cracking. Okay, Aishwarya. Okay, looks like she's having a little challenge with respect to network. So let her come back. Till the time, she comes back, I'll just talk about a little bit on the SOS alert.
Can you
One
hear
of
me
the
now?
biggest, yes, Aishwarya, please go ahead.
Yes, the SOS alerts. This have been come into some of the phones.
Again, Aishwarya, we can't hear you. Okay. So while she's coming back, one of the biggest challenge which we have faced out, not only just in the hospital, but even at the places when your parents or your children with the disabilities or the people, are there, or critical ill patients are there at home. And there are a lot of, their monitoring system is on, their health is not good. And how do you connect with them? And if they have some emergencies, how do they connect? And this works out from the perspective, this is also important from the perspective of the hospitals, that how nurses or the doctors can, monitor it live. I think one of the aspect which Uday Davda was mentioning about that what they're working on enhanced connected care, wherein they can get the live data from the the screen of the health of the patients, and which they can take up from the critical patient's point of view, which should be maybe apart from the ICU level as well, and it goes till the level of the home. And that is one of the important aspect which is going to be worked out or required from that perspective. Aishwarya, once you are back, you can just let me know. Another aspect which I think Aishwarya spoke about, the virtual ER system. This is one of the new technologies which is very, very important. And we have built up this ecosystem for the education perspective right now, wherein you can actually understand the more aspects of the, let's say the heart or maybe any organ, and you can actually, train your, interns or the doctors for the various things. But eventually, there would be one of the, even a part of that will be scanned, the part of organ would be scanned, and the body would be scanned, and it will be put up in a 3D metaverse platform. And doctors from various places can come in and actually examine and even operate over a period of time using the robotic surgeries. So which will be quite of interlinked out there. And that is where it will become very, very easy for the patients to recover fast and get the best of the medical staff or the doctors from any part of the globe. The another, the we while we call it as AbleVerse, the health metaverse platform, there are a lot of virtual and physical management which will be required, require from a various aspects of doctors and rehab management, tracking, recording progress, emergency SOS management, elderly regular checkup management, medicine management, automation of appointment bookings, insurance, connected to insurance so that, fast, quick, cashless insurance can happen, ambulance management, home care support, and even taking these virtual clinics in tier 2, tier 3 cities where doctors or maybe good doctors and the hospital staff or the nurses are not available right now. How can we provide trained personnel for the support of their daily management day to day at the home care and even at the hospital? Support, the virtual calls or physical calls, easily available so that, if you have any thought process, challenges within your mind, at least you can quickly solve those queries. Emergency transport facilities, official visits of doctors and therapists according to your needs, even in the tier 2, tier 3 cities, and the medical distribution, the medicines or maybe, the medical aids, lab and testing management, tracking, and, home care follow-up. So one of the important aspect which is going to be there is to set up these deep down state of clinic management and virtual management, supporting the each and every citizen of our country. We are also working along with Sharmila, because she's a government resource for last 2 years, and working with with Dr. Vinaya, who's working on the mental health part of it, especially on that, and with Aishwarya taking up the physical health management out there. What we are focusing in is the 70% of our population are underprivileged. They cannot afford a huge medical cost. And with government support, we are actually working on providing them a very, very low cost insurance, which will be taken up by the government. And then the best of the medical facilities would be established in these ecosystem, these areas, even to the rural areas, so that the people who are not able to afford the good mediclaim or the things, they can also come up to, they come up for preventive checkups, they can come up for the test and for the immediate hospital support out there. So of course, this all infrastructure and other things would be required. But one of the aspect is more than, even after having more than 25, 30 insurance companies in our country today, more than 50% of people do not have any insurance, health insurance or even life insurance for that matter. So one of the important aspect we are going to focus on bringing this insurance and percolate this deep down in our country. These are some of the benefits which we are bringing in at AbleCard, which is one of the low-cost comprehensive insurance. It will be an AI and blockchain-based platform, big data analytics, which can be leveraging to the pharma companies to develop preventive solutions or drugs for the betterment of that. Not only that, we will be tracking the live data of each and every individual with respect to their reports and everything, and AI will convert that into a primary, secondary or tertiary reports, and this data will be shared with the pharma companies to prevent the further diseases can be happening to them. And this will be based on blockchain platforms so that the data security and the privacy policies can be taken care very easily out there. And it will be integrated to the national mission, health mission ABHA number out there. So this is what the focus on that. And I think with this, we are coming to an end of the session for today. And thank you for being there for the launch of Tamil Nadu Premier League and the health vertical of Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao. This is the fourth vertical which we have launched over a period of last 2 months of time. The first vertical, which was launched on 22nd of July 2023, which was in West India, launched by Sharmila on social impact. 26 July was launched from a skill development ecosystem, and we launched a Page Turners Club which was launched by Dr. Vinaya in East India Curtain Raiser. Then we launched North India Curtain Raiser with Quit Job Movement for Startup Ecosystem. And on 8th of August, when we had the Quit India Movement launched by Gandhiji on 8th August 1942. And today we are launching on Teachers' Day, on the day when 2 Tamilian former presidents were kind of, we are recognizing, or we are getting inspired from them on the birth anniversary of a Tamilian president, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, who is also, apparently his birth anniversary as well today. With this, I would request each of you to scan this code, and we would want to call it, we call it as SKCKJ baton pass it on ceremony. So we come to the end of it. You can scan this pink color QR code, and you will get a volume 1 e-synopsis of the book absolutely free, whose cost is 300 rupees. For joining and being there till the end of it, please sign off this. If you want to, we would highly recommend you to buy the book, the volume 1 of the book, and pre-book the other, the languages and the volume 2 of the book, and even the magazine Awakening the Golden Bird, because 100% of the profits of both volumes of the book, Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao magazine, Awakening the Golden Bird, merchandise, and August Success Festival goes towards providing education, employment, and entrepreneurship opportunities, as well as health and accessibility to underprivileged youth and children of our country. So let me just talk about, we at Bringle would like to spread this Bringle Dreamwave to all the 7.6 billion people across the globe with our 3-step process: inspire others, help them achieve, and motivate them to pass it on. And we would now initiate the pass it on baton ceremony, and let's awaken the golden bird in every household, hidden inside each of you, as ultimately it's one earth, one family, one future. I would like to welcome our co-founder, Dr. Vinaya, to talk about how we could be working towards transforming this to an entire ecosystem, and what is the message she would like to talk about towards the passing on this SKCKJ baton ceremony, baton out there to the entire globe, and how we are taking it further from here. Over to you, Dr. Vinaya. If you can share the last few words, and we'll take it forward from there.
Thank you. Thank you, Anshab. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, great. Thank you, Anshav. As we say that we are one earth, one family, and one future, we at Bringle, UK and India and Vardhan for you are so glad that we were able to host all these festivals on, as Anshav explained, throughout last month and continued this month, and we strive to continue it further as well. As we say that, let's awaken the golden bird in every household, and ultimately, as we say that we are one family, one future. So our Vision 2025 is all about Bharatvarsh project to reach to each and every household of our country and setting up a framework for digitalizing with our Hero and Zero initiative. We would be developing SKCKJ centers to enhance employability skills, develop entrepreneurship mindsets among 1 lakh youth and children under Lucky Bagh in 30 cities and 12 state clusters across 5 regions covering all 22 official regional languages of India, with a total investment of 1.2 crores and measuring, improving their happiness quotient, that is HQ, money quotient, that is MQ, and pollution quotient, which we say as PQ, and digitalizing skill sets, certificates, HR records in blockchain skill-based skill banks along with the skill scores. Our Vision 2030 is to achieve Mission Zero unemployment. It's all about transforming 1 billion lives, 1 billion businesses and 100 unicorns with an investment of 1 billion USD and adding to 5 trillion GDP to our country by bringing excellence in 3 E's, that is education, employment, entrepreneurship, with an underlying focus of HAT, where we say it as health, accessibility, technology, and we at Bringle are developing the world's largest cross-border patent pending and inclusive virtual skill development center and skills bank, leading to mission unemployment. Our vision towards 2047 is Mission Net Zero, that where, as we say that we transform, we have a vision of transforming India into an environmental friendly and carbon neutral green economy, leading to net zero by bringing excellence in ESG, that is environmental, social impact and governance, leading to holistic development of each and every citizen. This initiative is to transform not only India, but all across the country into a carbon neutral green economy with an improved and nourished mind, body, and soul. So we extend a sincere gratitude for gracing the event of today with your presence and invaluable insights during the Bringle talk. As we say that your time, your wisdom has contributed immensely to our event and to our success. The remarks that you all have shared today is nothing but a shot of real remarkable things. With your profound words, we resound deeply with an audience, leaving a lasting impact on the words which you have said today. Your guidance, wisdoms are a guiding light for all of us. And we are honored to have you all have had a privileged hearing out your thoughts over here. Your contribution to our event will continue to inspire us as we move forward towards our journey of growth and transformation. Once again, thank you for your valuable time, for being the integral part of this event.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vinaya. And I think I really want to thank Ishtaq Bhai out there from Bangladesh, who has been there, the first one to join the session even much before the time and staying there with us till the last moment. And that is really a wonderful support which is being provided by him. And Ishtaq Bhai, if you're there right now with us, would like you to come on screen if possible and share a few words with the entire audience out there, what you are working with Bangladesh or in Bangladesh. Okay. Seems like there is some, okay, he's coming up. Oh, thank you so much, Ishtaq Bhai. I'm just putting you on spotlight.
Right. Okay, I think I'll just stick with audio.
Sure.
Because I'm traveling and there's a lot of noise on the streets.
That's
first of all, thank you.
Ishtaq Bhai.
It's a wonderful program. I enjoyed every moment of it. Wasn't bored at all. And I was listening, although there were a lot of health topics covered, which is not my forte, but I was listening to it intensely because Bangladesh can really help us if these activities are taking place in Bangladesh. Because we were talking in many ways of how we can incorporate some of your services into Bangladesh. So I see a lot of prospects. some of the management issues that you guys were talking about in terms of the health sector, like hospitals and diagnostic center. This I found from my personal research is a major issue for many of the private hospitals and the diagnostic centers here in Bangladesh. So they really struggle, and they hire consultants. They provide external training to their workers to improve the situation. But I think the holistic view that you guys were talking about this is something that would really help the medical sector in general in Bangladesh. So there's a lot of prospect there, and also in terms of the education sector, I mean, there's a lot of scope of work there also. So I'm very excited to be part of this family, and I would love to start activity at whatever level possible as soon as possible. And thank you everybody for the wonderful presentations, and everybody who was there. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Thank you so much, Istaq Bhai, and we would love to support Bangladesh in any ways we could do. And with Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao, as we say that it is actually derived out of all the 17 SDGs of the United Nations. So you will actually find each and every aspect which is very, very transformational for any individual, country, or even an organization. So it is deployable in everybody, in every organization, or for even an individual can read this book and transform themselves. Because each person has to become a leader before they can start helping anybody out there. And when we have leaders like Ishtiyaq Bhai, who is working in Bangladesh, and I remember meeting her mother, Dr. Dina, in the award ceremony when I was getting an Educational Outstanding Leadership Award in Dubai in March 2022. How she is very progressive, and you are really fortunate to have a mother like that, Ishtiyaq brother. And I think she's doing it. She reached out to me saying that she would like to deploy this model in Bangladesh as well. And and thank you so much, Dr. Dina, and please pay my regards. Please pass on my regards to Dr. Dina as well, Ishtiyaq Bhai, because of her we have been able to connect with you, and we are looking forward to deploy this model in Bangladesh as well.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I think I just want to make one more announcement. And Dr. Vinaya, would you like to share about what Gauri ma'am was talking about, the Africa plan, and what is her thought that she would like to deploy that, and what value addition she could bring it out in this entire health management ecosystem, apart from education ecosystem?
Yeah, not much, but yes, she had just texted up saying that there's a lot which we can do in Africa as well. When we talk about health, happiness, and, when we see the index all over the country, the happiness index, which I'm talking about. So she was saying that there's a lot which can be worked out over there. And mental health is something which really plays a very important role in a lot of aspects. Particularly after COVID, it's not only India, but across the world, people have just got alerted about it. And it's a need of an hour, whether it is child or whether it is an adult. So why not we also work where we have a lot of people there who are connected with the school systems as well, and bring this change in the education system, which will eventually lead out to a change in the entire world.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vinay and Dr. Gauriji for your support, and we would definitely like to work on that. With this, I would just want to thank each and everybody out there. And there are 2 QR codes out there. Before I read out the, thank you for everybody. Please scan the pink color QR code, which actually gives you the volume 1 e-synopsis, volume 1 of the book of e-synopsis. And I would really recommend to buy the book, the volume 2, as well as book the volume 1 and the pre-book the volume 2 and the magazine and other languages as well. This is on your convenience at sonekichidiya.org. We are also inviting transformers who could support us in transforming the entire ecosystem basis on the 17 SDGs of the United Nations with all of you. And you can scan the golden color QR code and share your thoughts, how you could support us in transformation of this entire concept, or taking this concept into across the globe. So with this, we at Bringle UK and India and Vardhan for you are so glad to host you for this exclusive curtain raiser for Har Ghar Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao, and really grateful that you had invested your time and energy to understand the concept and would like to transform your country or yourself and their citizens into future leaders. And we would like to do it today. So let's speak loud, rise and shine, know yourself to transform into a leader. Jagao,
Jagao, jagao.
हर घर सोने की चिड़िया को जगाओ. Awakening the golden bird in every household, as ultimately it's one earth, one family, one future. And as my father always say that, खुश रहो, स्वस्थ रहो, जीते रहो बिंदास. With that, we end our show today. Thank you so much. Keep bringing, keep growing.
Inspire others, help them to achieve, motivate them to pass it on. For more details, keep browsing. Smile, dream, and achieve. See you all.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care. Wish you all